Join Radhi and I for a part 2 of our special On Purpose episode today with BMW. Today, Radhi and I switch roles and I go grocery shopping in Radhi's place. Tune in for the road trip with the all-electric BMW iX. Yeah, it's super nice.
It's pretty spacious. Let's go!
So, Radhi, what's the challenge today?
Okay, so you remember a couple of years ago, we did this YouTube video where you made something for
Yeah, I've been
me.
trying to block it out ever since.
Okay, so you at that time made me, what did you make me?
I made you... So this is the one and only time in our entire life that I think I've cooked for you.
One time only.
And I promised it would be one time only. I cooked you a stuffed pepper. And it was the best rice stuffed pepper you'd ever had in your entire life.
It was. It actually made it into my cookbook. I don't know whether I've ever even told you this, but there is a recipe. Imagine you, out of all people, have a recipe in my cookbook.
That's amazing.
No,
I told
it's
you, if I
ridiculous.
wanted to be a chef, I'd be, you know,
I was asked
really
if
good
you've
at it.
ever cooked for me, if there's any recipes that remind me of you, and there was one. It was either that or beans on toast. They said I couldn't put beans on toast
Beans on
in there.
toast, that would have been the best, with cheese sprinkled on top.
No, I can't. That's not in
with
my
ketchup.
cookbook. What made it into my book, just because stuffed pepper didn't feel fun enough,
Right.
it's a 1-pot Mexican rice.
Wait, why did the stuffed pepper not feel good enough?
It just was like a bit basic, honestly. The actual Mexican rice has made it. It's like a 1-pot Mexican rice dish. So you already kind of know how to do this. So
I
it's a bit
don't.
of
I have
cheating.
no idea.
You're like cheating a little bit.
I
but
literally have no idea.
what we're gonna do is we're going to the grocery store or the supermarket, as we like to call it, and you're gonna buy all the ingredients.
This is my worst nightmare.
But on top of that, just to make it a little bit spicy, we are going to get you making some guacamole and some healthy sour cream to be able to dollop on top. And then I will joyfully eat it for lunch.
While we're on the way to the grocery store, let's answer some questions.
All right, let's do it.
So you've got them next to you, because
got
I
them next
can't read questions and
Yeah, I
drive
think
at the same time. I don't think that would be very safe. If we were doing carpool karaoke right now, what would it be?
Mine would be, yeah, 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 yeah. Or it would be, baby, calm down, calm down.
Okay, cool.
You know that,
Alright, yeah.
don't tell me no, no, no.
Well, you have to
no,
know the
whoa,
words.
Whoa, 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 oh, oh, oh,
Got
oh.
it. Got it.
You always make fun of me because he makes fun of me in my music choice because he says a lot of it, there isn't actual words. It's either mumble or it's
Sounds.
So that would be mine. And if it was Jay, it would be, don't never stop. What is it?
It'd be a Drake song.
Yeah,
it'd be a
Drake song.
Yeah.
Everybody obviously got that I was doing Drake.
Right, that's
from that.
exactly where they go. All right, so what are the questions?
What's the biggest difference between drivers in LA and drivers in London?
Oh, I
I have to say, I do find LA drivers a little bit more impatient. Just gonna put
Really?
it out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I do find there's a lot more beeping. No one wants to give you way. Whereas, you know what? In London, I'd say people do let you into things.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
interesting.
So. Bit
I
more
feel
road
like
rage here.
one thing I really love about driving in LA as a driver myself is I love the palm trees. I feel like look
yeah.
at this. I feel like I'm on a constant vacation.
This is about drivers, though.
Right.
Like drive. But I agree.
I do find the highways scary in LA.
Me too, because
like
you
when
have
people
that
are
thing of
switching
going
lanes.
off.
Yeah, when people are switching lanes, and obviously everything's the other way around for us. So you're driving on a different side of the
Yeah.
road, and the steering wheel's on a different side of the car.
Yeah.
So especially I find when I come back from London, I find it even scarier, and I find myself too much on one side or the other.
Oh, I do that all the time.
But yeah, and I think drivers pretty much everywhere in the world are pretty impatient, aren't
Yeah, I am too, to be fair. Do you believe you're... Do you believe you're a backseat driver? Okay, I'm a proud backseat driver. You know why? Because my line every time I do a backseat driver thing, like, watch out, or don't go that close, is imagine I didn't say that, I could have just saved your life and somebody else's.
The difference is every time you say it, I'm like, the way you say it is more likely to cause an accident. Yeah, exactly.
No!
Yes.
Don't do that!
Yeah, exactly. Then save me. Like, I'm like, literally, I have a shock. Like, I literally have a shock every time you say it. And I'm like, what happened? Like, what happened? Did something happen? And you're like, no, just, I was
What's
making
my
sure.
usual, oh my gosh, it's mummy!
Yeah, mummy. It's like, what's mummy gonna do?
I would say I am more of a backseat driver than Jay is, yes.
I'm
but
not a backseat driver at all.
maybe that just shows I care
I'm
more.
also not a backseat driver in life.
Oh, line drop.
No, but it's important. It's an interesting question, right? Like,
This is like, you know what, Jay Shetty getting Jay Shetty on me. So actually, you know what, let's go deeper into that. What does it mean to be a backseat driver in your life?
it's a good question then.
What does it mean, Jay, to be a backseat driver? Please do tell us.
No,
in
I
life.
just think that some of us, grab life by the steering wheel and navigate and take the journey ourselves. And some of us sit in the back seat and criticize and judge and complain about what
Do you
everyone
not
else is
think
doing.
that in life we need both backseat drivers and people who want to take the steering wheel, and too many steering wheel people would actually be not good?
That was an amazing question.
Yeah.
That was an amazing question. No, I believe that when you're driving, you should drive safely and securely and responsibly. And when you're in the back seat, you should be obedient.
I'm talking about what?
In life.
Oh, in life.
Yeah, in life.
Okay, next question, people. Next question. If you could pick 3 people to fill your car with on a road
Good
trip,
question. Oh, just to remind everyone, these were questions that my team came up with, so we had no idea what we
they
were
were going to be.
answering. Yeah.
If you could pick 3 people to fill your car with on a road trip, who would they be?
Go on, let's try one each.
What, 3
starting
people in the whole entire world?
from- Yeah.
Okay, I know who it
Yours
would
are
be.
easy. Go on.
Yeah, mine
Go
are
on.
quite easy.
Go on.
Mine would be, okay, people alive would be my grandma, my niece, and my nephew.
Yeah.
Banter.
Yeah.
Forever.
Didn't make it.
So
I
much
didn't
fun.
make it.
No, but that would be like, it would be so funny because...
3 in the back. We'll put 3 in the back. Then I can
3
be
in the back.
car. Then I
You can be in the car too.
Yeah.
But not alive. I would love to have a car full of like my grandma and then her grandma and like my
wow, that's
ancestors.
sweet.
One, I love driving around old people. I do it for my grandma and her friends all the time, and it is so much fun because they're hilarious. You know, one thing I found, my dad opens up on road trips. Like if it's just me and him, he's driving me to the airport, or my sister told me yesterday that he was driving her to the airport, and he starts telling stories about himself. Like it creates this time and space where people can open up a little bit. And so with that in mind, I think I would want that with people that I really wish I had got to know but didn't have the chance to.
What questions would you ask, or what game would you play with these people in the car on a long journey?
For fun, I would definitely play, well, our version, Indian version of carpool karaoke, Antakshari, where you all just sing like old Indian songs. But I imagine my grandma and her ancestors would probably sing like devotional songs or God songs, which is amazing. But then to actually ask them questions, I love word association. I think it tells a lot about people.
Right.
To like understand when they hear something, what they relate it to.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I'll play. What about you? Who would your 3 people be?
Oh gosh, all right. So if it was living, it would be you, my sister, and my mum.
Yeah.
And that would be like my family trip.
Yeah.
If it was people who weren't alive or like people I don't know, I'd want it to be Steve Jobs, Martin Luther King, and Einstein.
Oh, wow.
And I wouldn't say anything. I would just listen.
It'll be all of them in one car.
Yeah, because I would just listen. I would have nothing to say.
Yeah,
I would just sit
observe.
there and think about what they would say.
You know who else is so fun in the car though? We've done a few random car trips with him together as Radhanath Swami, because I feel like he really brings up such good conversation and also does the same thing my dad does, where there's so many stories that come out during those trips.
Totally.
I love those trips.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd take you out and put him into mine, sorry.
Got it.
Yeah.
With your bar and your
my
niece
grandma,
and
my
nephew.
niece, my nephew.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that.
I'm not sure he'd enjoy that.
I was going to say the other person you love having in the car is Adil.
Oh yeah, that's a good carpool karaoke friend.
You and Adil are always singing in
that's
cars.
true. That's good. Good answer. That would be a really interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
If it was possible. Who is more likely to leave the car lights on overnight? I literally did that yesterday. Not overnight.
Did you?
Not overnight. No.
You leave the car lights on. You leave the car unlocked. You forget to charge the car.
I leave my little.
Like we're so
trinkets
lucky
in the
that
car.
we have electric cars. Like right now, this electric
I've always
car.
got a
we're
spare hairband, a spare drink, a spare some pair of sunglasses, some snacks. There's always something here lingering.
Right.
That's really a blessing.
So then, it wouldn't be me.
I'll take that.
I find that I go through periods where the car is immaculate, and then when I have too many clothes and shoes in the car.
There are times I will literally come to the car and it's like he's been living out of his car for a long period of time.
Because I've started to realize, like it happened the other night, right?
You needed a tux.
I needed a suit because I had an event to go to, and I've started to realize. So I keep my pickleball stuff in the car.
Yeah.
I need a suit in the car. I need a suitcase in the car potentially.
Yeah.
Like I find like so much of my life is so like last minute.
True.
I jump on a plane, do this, do that that I've started to realize that I need to be more prepared.
I feel like you weren't prepared for this road trip because where are my beverages?
Oh, no, but we're going to buy some Junior when we get there.
Okay, fine.
Who's most likely to get car sick in a car that they're not driving? Me too, yeah.
Me.
I get car sick so much. I still never. Let's figure that out though. That kind of like.
Let's just go a little bit deeper into this, shall we? Let's dive into it, Jay. Go on.
I'm trying to figure out this whole car sick situation. Like,
Yeah,
why
it's just the imbalance in the ear, babe. There's nothing to figure out.
No, but then how do we solve our imbalance? Because we've had this for a while.
Yeah, no, it's an imbalance in like your eardrum.
Right.
So there are different ways you can use peppermint. All that really helps me.
Right. So why didn't you bring peppermint?
Chewing on ginger, that's really helpful.
Right.
And then if you are reading, read upwards.
Got it. Go on
not
then.
outwards.
What's the next question?
Okay, the next question is, would you need maps to get from our house to go to a grocery store?
Yes. Completely.
I think Google Maps has really ruined my ability to absorb in things around me, and like I don't know what I would be without Google Maps. I know what I would be. I don't know where I would be.
If I'm in London, I can really get around. But I feel like ever since we moved to the States,
I've become very reliant.
We're so reliant on maps and.
Yeah. So in conclusion, we both would need maps to get anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a question from you to me.
Go on.
Do you not answer texts from me because you're playing hard to
So
get?
I've told the team that sometimes you don't respond. I have to explain this to our friends as well, because our friends will be like,
I've gotten so
he's Radhi
much
upset with me, like is Radhi okay? Like, because I'm like, she doesn't reply to her own husband for like 7 messages. Like I have to ask her the same question.
You're
and
you're someone who like you're not so succinct though.
I am succinct.
Okay, fine.
Send short messages.
It is me, honestly. But I also think, you know what I really do think, and this is I'm going to have a Jay Shetty moment now.
Go on.
I believe that we have this terrible habit of wanting people to reply within like a day or two. And I'm like, what if I want to reply within a week?
But what if we live together?
Yeah,
and what if I need
then
to make
you can
a decision,
ask me when you see me.
Right.
And I just think that there's this, I find that the reason I get distracted so fast is because this need of, oh my gosh, I have to reply to this person fast. I have to reply to this email within this amount of time. I have to, and sometimes I just want the freedom. Like today I replied back to an email 3 days later. Was anybody hurt by it? No. Well, if they were, I'm sorry, but, or like text messages, someone messaged me and I remembered it this morning. So I was like, oh, 4 days later. And I don't even feel like I should have to apologize for a late reply because late is relative.
Got it.
But yes, I am bad at it. I'm actually...
No, you've got really good at it.
I've gotten so much better.
I just find sometimes I need to make a decision.
Totally. Call me. I am not a messenger. I am so good with calls.
And I'm the opposite. I'm a message me.
You're a messenger.
Don't always call me because I'll be in meetings.
I'm a like, if you call me, I will pick up and we can talk. I'm more than happy to do that. But because I have to type so much for work and I'm on my phone all the time for that, communication via phone becomes so tedious for me. It's not fun. So call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
One of the times I do take calls, which I do love, is when I'm driving. Like that's usually my time to take a phone call.
Same.
It speeds up any journey.
Except LA has such bad reception.
Fair.
What would each other's first line be if we met now at a party?
Oh, interesting.
Mine would be something like, did you try the vegan tacos?
Are you vegan?
Are you vegan?
What would mine be? Mine would be... We never met at a party, so I don't also have that context.
I think maybe you'd probably get into like a group convo with people, and then you say something intellectual, and then I'd ask you something, and...
Oh, so I'd use my intellect.
Yeah, I think you'd use your intellect. What's the first song?
No, but do you know what? Let's
get into this.
No. I really feel for everyone who's like dating right now online and stuff.
Hard.
It's really hard.
It's
like
so hard.
I'm like, you have to be
real.
interesting on your profile. You have to be interesting on your pictures. Then you have to be interesting on text. Then you have to be interesting on a voice note. Then you have to be interested in real life.
And then you get the real life.
It's because you're forced to have to be interesting at every tiny point of connection.
No, sometimes I just want to not talk and just be silent. You can't do that on dates. You can't just be yourself. You always feel like you have to show up as a really excitable, interesting person with a lot that you do in life. What's your screen time?
Oh my gosh.
Well,
tell me yours. I'll tell you mine later.
I don't even want to tell you.
Tell me.
7 hours, 30 minutes.
That makes sense. It's during the workday.
Should we see what it is though? Most used WhatsApp. So like yesterday was WhatsApp for 3 hours. So that's messaging and calls.
Talking to your mum.
Yeah. Instagram for 1 hour 10. Not bad. Internet surfing for 1 hour. Notes section, 42 minutes, because I write on that.
Write your quotes.
I write my quotes on there, write my little reminders, reflections. Google Maps, 30 minutes. Messages, 26 minutes. And Google Calendar, 23 minutes.
That's not too bad.
Honestly, that's probably one of my... And Google Mail, 20 minutes. That was writing back to that one email. Great.
I'll be honest, managing money has always been something I've had to stay mindful about. It feels like everywhere you turn, someone's trying to make you spend. That's where Acorns comes in. Acorns is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now, even if all you've got is spare change. Sign up now and join the over 13 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $22 billion with Acorns. Plus, Acorns will boost your new account with a $20 bonus investment. Offer available at acorns.com/purpose. That's acorns.com/PURPOSE to get your $20 bonus investment today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 6 compensation provided. Investment involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/purpose.
I'm Cheryl Swoops, WNBA champ, 3-time Olympian, and Basketball Hall of Famer. I'm a mom, and I'm a woman.
I'm Tarika Foster Brasby, journalist, sports reporter, basketball analyst, a wife, and I'm also a woman.
And on our new podcast, we're talking about the real obstacles women face day to day.
See, athlete or not, we all know it takes a lot as women to be at the top of our game.
We want to share those stories about balancing work and relationships, motherhood, career shifts. You know, just all the shit we go through.
Because no matter who you are, there are levels to what we experience as women.
And T and I, well, we have no problem going there.
Listen to Levels to This with Cheryl Swoops and Tarika Foster Brasby, an iHeart Women's Sports production in partnership with Deep Blue Sports and Entertainment. You can find us on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey y'all, Nimini here. I'm the host of a brand new history podcast for kids and families called Historical Records. Executive produced by Questlove, The Story Pirates, and John Glickman, Historical Records brings history to life through hip-hop.
Smash, slam, another one gone. Bash, bam, another one gone. The crack of the bat and another one gone. The tip of the cap, cause another one gone.
Each episode is about a different inspiring figure from history. Like this one about Claudette Colvin, a 15-year-old girl in Alabama who refused to give up her seat on the city bus 9 whole months before Rosa Parks did the same thing. Check it.
And it began with me. Did you know, I wouldn't give up my seat. 9 months before Rosa, it was Claudette Colvin.
Get the kids in your life excited about history by tuning in to Historical Records. Because in order to make history, you have to make some noise. Listen to Historical Records on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If our relationship had a theme song, what would it be?
Pop star?
Yeah. I'm a pop star, not a doctor. Yeah, I'd go with that.
I don't think that goes for our relationship.
I think that's great. Do you have an ick about me?
I think
Where to start?
Yeah, no, literally. I think it used to be when you used to run late.
I can tell you mine.
What?
Mine is because you know you have this like photographic memory. And that you remember everything. Sometimes, even if I know I'm in the right, I question myself.
You're not in the right.
I am though. There are some times where you actually get it wrong.
I don't.
You do.
Don't.
And this is my ick. This part.
You're the stubborn one.
I don't get anything
No,
wrong.
I do get stuff wrong. I'm actually the first to say I'm sorry or
Yeah.
first to say I've got something wrong.
You
You're
are.
the stubborn one.
I am
So
stubborn.
it's your stubbornness.
Okay, great.
Yeah. It's going to start a fight. All right, so we're here.
Yay.
Made it.
Made it.
Enjoyed that conversation with you.
Me too. It was really great. I'm really excited to get a little beverage.
There you go. And for the challenge, I am not very excited.
Are you ready?
No.
Are you
No.
ready? Come on, let's go. Let's go get some food.
Yeah.
Come make me some dinner. It's Friday. I need
Alright,
a
let's do it.
break, okay?
Let's do it.
How do I open this? Oh, yeah. Amazing. Oh, you're not opening my door for me now.
Oh, sorry.
So you excited? Shall we leave this in here?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hey guys, it's Jay Shetty here, and I couldn't be more excited to share this exciting news. You asked, we delivered. Junie sparkling tea with adaptogens made by my wife and I are now available in all Sprout locations across the country. Junie is the perfect midday pick-me-up. With only 1/3 of the caffeine found in brewed green tea, it provides a gentle energy boost without the crash. It only has 5 calories and 0 grams of sugar, making it the perfect drink. Plus, it's made with a delicious blend of adaptogens and nootropics that may help boost your metabolism, combat stress, pack your body with antioxidants, and stimulate brain function. Head over to your local Sprouts or visit sprouts.com to find the closest location near you. That was fun.
That was so fun. You know
I
what?
know you're hungry. I'm going to go home and cook.
I'm so
I'm going to go home and make lunch for you.
So-
How does it feel when someone makes your own food for you?
Honestly, great, because you know what the amazing thing about cooking and recipes is that you can. When I cook my mum's food, I can literally cook the same thing with the same recipe, and it will never taste the same.
In a good way.
In a great way,
Yeah.
everything is so different.
So when I make your recipe, it will have its own flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because it will be made with love for you.
Yeah, it would just be using different hands, different amount. Even if you're measuring things out, somehow things always taste different. That's what's so amazing about food.
Right.
I'm just not a person to speak to when I'm not fed.
Right.
I don't know whether you're like that.
Is that how you feel right now?
That's how I feel right now.
I get what you're saying though. I get quite hangry as well.
Do you?
Don't you?
You do.
Upset.
You don't
I get more upset.
I get upset.
Or like upset.
I get agitated.
Agitated, right?
Agitated.
Agitated. So what do we do? What do I do when you're agitated?
Ideally, not talk to me, but we can't do that right now.
No, we can't. Because we're recording a podcast.
Let's keep this going. What do you do to keep yourself because you're someone who expends so much energy during the day. I feel like
Right.
you're probably one of the most, what's the word for a person who uses their time really well?
Just organized.
No. You are one of the most productive people
Right.
that I know, and you really don't, you're not a time waster. You really use your energy and your time so efficiently. But I always wonder, and I feel like I get asked this a lot, how do you manage to maintain that energy level throughout the day?
I don't. There are times when I feel tired.
But a secondary part to that question
Mm-hmm.
is when you do, right now, I feel like I just want to get into bed and do nothing for the rest of the day. But one can't do that often. So what would one do if one was feeling that way and actually, how do you keep motivated and then pick your energy back up?
I think first of all, I do love what I do. And I'm really grateful to get to do what I do. I feel like I appreciate that I get to do what I love every day, and I don't take that for granted.
I've noticed that about you. You really, even if you are feeling that way, you self-soothe a lot in the sense that you self-talk to motivate your, you don't really rely on other people to bring you. You
give me encouragement.
No, but what I'm saying is you find ways. I know even when you're feeling tired, you're like, no, I may be tired, but this is something that I love doing. Or you're constantly talking to yourself in a positive language to motivate yourself or energize yourself.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that about you, where even if you are tired and even if I'm exhausted, but I've had such, the best week and it's been so productive and I got this done and what an amazing thing to be able to do this or this. And so I've noticed that with you, where even, and so I think that language really makes a difference to
how we
to
talk to ourselves.
Yeah.
And I always say to myself, I am tired, so I'm accepting.
Yeah,
exactly. And then I add an action to solve that. So I am tired and I'll go to sleep tonight.
I'll sleep early tonight, yeah.
Sorry, I'll go to sleep early tonight. Or I am tired and tomorrow I'm going to sleep on the plane. So I've got a flight tomorrow in the morning.
It's always telling you, you know what it is? It's your body reacts to how you're feeling and what you're saying to it.
Yeah, and you're not lying to it. You can't just be like, oh, I feel energized.
No, because it knows you're lying.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's one of those things where you are almost giving it that hope and that's something to look forward to, where it's let's just put in that last amount of effort,
and
then just know that I also know you are struggling, and I know that this is happening in my
Yeah.
in my body, so I'm telling you, body, that we are gonna do this, and
Yeah.
it's gonna make us feel better.
And also planning recoup, right? Like I know that, like last weekend when you planned a little spa day for us.
Yeah.
Like I was looking forward to that
Yeah.
the whole week. We knew we had a tough couple of weeks
Yeah.
before that. And now I know I've got another quite intense, like 7 days ahead.
Yeah.
And then I'm hoping to have a bit of couple of days of rest. And so I think it's also balancing that out and saying, okay, I know I've got a busy period. When am I going to plan some deep rest?
Totally.
Rather than going, okay, I'm just going to rely on that energy.
I think people, and by people I mean people like me, we live moment to moment rather than, like, there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying whether that's good or bad, but there are people who live moment to moment and react according to how they're feeling in the moment. And then there are people who, and I think there's a training element to it where, you know, you can't always act on how you're feeling, because often how you're feeling may not be the right way to do what you need to do. Like, I feel a certain way right now, but do I have things to do, and do I need to get them done? Yes. Whereas if I went with how I was feeling and I didn't train myself to push through that sometimes, I wouldn't be able to get done what I need to do. So I think it takes an element of training. I think that's every single time you're feeling that way, having that talk and pushing yourself to do
Yeah,
those
that's really
things.
smart. There you go. There you go. Solved it. What was that last question on the page?
It was, what kind of party person are you?
Oh, introvert, extrovert. What was the
No,
option?
it was kind of like so I know I
You said-
am the person yawning at the party, but also the person who I find one person to talk to the whole night usually.
That's
and
what I
I
do.
stick with that person. No, you are like a full-on social butterfly.
No, I'm not. I
Trying
don't-
to get you out of a party
No,
is
no, this
literally
is,
like
so, okay, look,
no,
I find
I'm
Jeremy
no.
at any party. No, this is true.
No.
When Humble lived here, I would find Humble or Jeremy at any party and we would sit and have a philosophical conversation for an hour and a half. That's fact. That's
No.
fact. No, that's fact.
No.
Ask Humble or Jeremy.
You're the person
This is
who-
that stubbornness coming out in you. I know what I
No,
do.
I know, because I'm always waiting by the door, waiting
That's
for you
never
to leave.
happened in a million years.
Are you joking? Are you joking?
Name one place that we went
Okay,
to
I'm going to ask
recently.
all my friends, all of our friends tonight when we see them, what usually happens at the end of the night. It's you talking to everybody, saying bye for about
Yeah, but that's
an
because they
hour.
guess at our home or at our
when
event.
we're out.
No.
Even when we're out and about, you're talking to people, and I'm waiting to go to the next shop, and you're just having you just a chatter. You are.
Definitely not.
You are. You love socializing.
You know what though? We went to some really beautiful things lately. So we were really fortunate to go to Kristen Bell was being honoured by UN Women
Yes.
and for the World Peace
That was
Humanitarian
phenomenal.
Fund. And it was a gala, the first ever gala. It was absolutely incredible. I think we were both moved by Sharon Stone, who spoke.
Sharon Stone gave such an incredible.
She talked about
She shared so much that I just didn't know about. And you know, one thing that's made me that situation made me think, it was about there was some women who are, you know, advocating for a lot of peace around the world, and this was a woman that came from Afghanistan, and she was talking about the amount that's happening in Afghanistan, and it made me realize that there is so much happening around the world that we don't hear about, and what makes it to us is based on what the media decides to show us. And I find that so interesting, because when I then was thinking about other things that I've heard through my friends, or, you know, depending on where you're from originally, you may hear more to do with that country, right? And so I was thinking about the other areas of the world that we just don't hear about, and there is so much happening around the world that we just don't know about,
and we can't even
and we can't.
yeah.
It's so difficult, and it's obviously what's close to you and what's meaningful, but it is so interesting that we do kind of live in our own bubble, even though you think we have so much access to other parts of the world. Like, they were talking about what's happening in Afghanistan and how, you know, how
was all
women
about
are
refugee
treated.
camps
Yeah,
specifically,
refugee
yeah.
camps, and how the women there are treated, and how they're not allowed to go out into even walk by themselves on the street. They're not allowed education. There's so much.
Yeah, I was really blown away. I think we were both blown away by when Sharon Stone was saying that the average refugee spends 11 years in a refugee camp and there's no access to toilets and showers for that much time.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking about this, and my parents were in refugee camps. Well, my mum was for a long time, so was my dad for years of their teenage life. And their refugee camps, my mum was saying, was actually, it was in London, it was in Scotland, sorry. And they were saying they did have those facilities there, but I think maybe in different parts of the world they didn't. But I think it's more collective showers, collective toilets, and, you just think about how different people's lives can be. Like, my parents went through that for their teenage years. They spent it in refugee camps. They see it as a place that saved their life. Like, they see the refugee camps as, we were able to leave an unsafe place to come and take
Because
refuge.
they were able to get out.
Yeah, exactly. And so they were so grateful to even have that, someone that actually took them in and they were given that opportunity to start over and start a new life.
Yeah. And then the other event we went to that I think was really beautiful and special this week was the celebration event for Clarence and Jackie Avon.
Oh yeah, that was
just
amazing.
spectacular. We're so grateful. We both were invited by Nicole Avon to celebrate her parents, and even though we didn't know her parents, I definitely
felt like I knew them.
it was such a beautifully organized event. I felt so moved and touched because I walked away going, wow, if only I could even try to serve my community and
Yeah,
live in the
me
way
too.
her parents did.
Like, to have that much impact, and whether it's impact online, offline, the people closest to you, the people that you meet in a shop, whatever it is, to have that effect where people are so touched by who you are as a person and how you've gone above and beyond for them, I think it was incredible. The number of people in so many different areas, so many different walks of life, I was blown away. It was incredible.
Yeah, it was unbelievable to have that experience and just to hear about how someone for that many years as well could continue to support and serve their community.
I know, I feel like it was from his pretty much like teenage years, or both their teenage years, all the way up till 90.
Yeah.
And still there were people who had met him at 90 and were sharing how much, even within a couple of months, they had completely changed their perspective on
Yeah,
life.
it was really, really special.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then obviously we got to watch this beautiful performance by Stevie Wonder, which I thought was
Oh
just
my gosh,
spectacular.
it literally made me cry. What a legendary human.
Yeah.
And then to be able to, I think more than anybody that I've seen in real life, and we went to Beyonce's concert, we went to so many things, but I don't know, there's something, for me, I've got a personal kind of nostalgia with Stevie Wonder. It was my dad used to play it all the time in the car when I was growing up, and just an amazing artist.
Yeah, really fun events. So those were two social events you didn't have to drag me out of. There you go. But yeah, no, really, really love attending these events that almost remind you of humanity.
Yeah.
Like I walked away in different ways. One was what we can do to serve, what we can do to help. The other one about how we can celebrate humans as well. I felt I walked away thinking, how do I want to celebrate my parents?
Totally.
How do I want to celebrate what they gave me?
Yeah, it made me walk away thinking, because there were so many amazing stories that they were telling, and it made me walk away thinking there's these amazing games you can buy and journals that you ask your parents to fill in and to talk about their life before you, and even their life throughout you, but it's a year-long journal. I don't know what it's called, but I'm going to try and find it again. I saw it, and it asks questions that you would never normally ask your parents, and I realized I want to go back and got all these pictures and things from when they were younger to actually ask the stories behind the pictures and write them down in the album. Because there's one thing about having like footage of and being like, oh, this is a nice picture, but when you have the depth and the story behind it, it makes it so much more meaningful. So I'm going to do that with my grandma and my parents. I was going to tell you to do that with your mum as well.
Remember when you tried to interview your grandma?
I did try to interview my grandma. I wish there was a way of doing it where she doesn't realize. My grandma gets into like performer mode when the camera's out, or she gets really serious. But I still think I learned so much from
You need
that.
to do it in a way when you're just sitting in a room and just have a camera there. Yeah.
But I do think it's important. I follow this page on Instagram that's all about the questions you should ask your parents. Oh my God, look, this car does hand gestures.
What is that?
Like to change things on the screen.
Oh,
You
okay.
use, there it is.
What do you mean?
I've seen that on BMWs. I forgot. You can change songs and stuff like this.
Okay, but what are you doing right now?
That's the hand gesture. I don't know what I'm doing right now,
For
but
what
that would be
now?
like if a song is playing. Yeah, I think it's so nice getting to know your parents before you to be able to understand them and how they are with you now. I definitely want to invest time in doing that.
Yeah, definitely. It was really beautiful, really, really special. And her book is amazing. It's called Think You'll Be Happy. It's really, really special. It's really grateful to have her as a guest on the podcast. Oh, I was going to say, my sister's wedding was one of those times that I feel like I really got to celebrate her.
Yeah.
And I think it's so interesting. You get very few opportunities to celebrate the people that you love. And you almost have to take all of them and create more. Because people don't take that much time to celebrate their own lives, and we don't take time to celebrate the people's lives that we love.
Yeah, so true. Birthdays are a good opportunity to do that if you do it properly.
Yeah.
So, who were you wearing?
No.
Oh my god, look!
Okay, Radhi. I love how you have energy for stuff like that.
I do. Okay.
No, I was just thinking that my sister's wedding was honestly just so much fun.
Yeah.
Talking about spending time with family and talking about doing amazing things. So my sister had 5 events across 7 days.
She had a proper Indian
with
wedding.
an average attendance of over 300 people at every single event.
And that's a small Indian wedding.
And that was a small Indian wedding. But it was insane. And I was like more run down from her wedding than I was
From your tour.
from my tour. And I think the reason is because it was so emotional as well.
Oh my god, this boy
I must
was
have
crying.
cried. Yeah, I must have cried.
He
Like
was just crying every day.
I must have cried.
Every day, every hour, the whole ceremony.
You were crying as well.
He looked across. I would look across at him and he'd be crying, and then naturally, when people cry, I cry. Obviously, I just also love their